Hello, it's me, Kian, back again with another YouTube video, me and Green Phillip. Today we have a video for you about things to leave in 2021. Oh, 10 things to be exact. So let me pull these things up. I finally got into Squid Games. After I stopped feeling so pressured to watch it, it's like every single person I came into eye contact with would ask me, did you watch Squid Games? Did you watch Squid Games? Did you watch Squid Games? And I'm just like, no. And now I'm watching it now that it's a decade old and nobody asks me about it anymore. So the first thing to leave in 2021 is going to be the past. Leave the past in the past. Especially if you already came to the conclusion of what the situation is and it's not changing anytime soon, and you just keep on harboring on it and just harping on it and won't let it go. Please let it go. Leave it in the past. If it's something that you already went through over and over and over in your head, like an old romantic partner, or like a really old argument that you had with somebody, or if you just like holding a lot of grudges with people, please let that go. Grudges are very heavy, a lot of baggage. It's bad for your heart and your health. Move on. Next, talking back to your exes. Do as I say, not as I do. Talking back to your exes is horrible. We all fucking know that, but what are you going back to? The same exact thing. Literally, I've done this in the past, going back to the same person over and over and over and over and over, and it was literally a cycle. Nothing's going to change. So might as well just leave him in the past. There was one guy who almost snuck in there. He better be glad I got a posse in the back, strapped, waiting for me. I was trying to date a guy. Again, one of my exes, he had hit me up. He was like, oh, let's go out to the movies. And I'm like, sure. And I was telling my sister about it. And I was like, yeah, it's the same guy who left me stranded at the mall that one time. And my battery was dead. And she was like, what? What? Oh, yeah. That makes sense. I forgot about that. She was definitely onto something. Glad I dodged that bullet. Again, I never forget when he drank all my Douce. I'm never forgetting when you drank all my Douce. The next one is feeling sorry for ourselves. We're in the middle of a pandemic. We're in the midst of an economical crisis. It's okay. Please take the initiative to not only help yourself, but to help others. Everybody has something that they're going through. Your problems are not heavier than the next person's problems. What do they say? Sometimes it sprinkles on some people's heads. It rains harder on other people's heads. I don't know. But while you're sitting there trying to figure out your life and helping out yourself, be really empathetic and try to help out another person, because you never know what that other person can do for you and things that you can get back for being such an awesome, helpful person. We're owning up to the things that we do, and we're taking initiative, we're taking action, and we're going to do the things that we set out for ourselves to do and not feeling bad about it if we fail, because you're human, okay? Next, making excuses. Can we not? At the end of the day, your excuses are not valid reasons. Play them over in your head and ask yourself, wow, is this really a real barrier? Or am I just too lazy? Or am I just too scared to do something? Really think about it, because when you really take out the excuses and put what you really feel behind it, then things start to make sense. And then you can create goals around those barriers that you have in your head that you're mistaking for an excuse, but it's actually like a bunch of barriers that you don't feel like admitting that is the problem. So once you stop making excuses and you see what the real problem is, like you don't have enough information about something, you're scared to do something, you would need to ask for help to do some things, you're not really good at it. Whatever the barrier is, you can make goals around it. So that's what's going to get you farther in life. Not making excuses for yourself, owning up to what you need to do, and going on to go do it. Next, Tinder. This is kind of thrown out there, but I just feel like Tinder should no longer exist. Ban it. Kapoof. It needs to be gone. I feel like 90% of the people on Tinder are only on there because they're bored. It's like digging through a bunch of trash. Not calling you lovely people trash, but it's just like, when's the last person that you've seen that got married off of a Tinder date? I'll wait. And if you know somebody, then keep your fucking comments to yourself, because nobody asked you. I just feel like it's not helping anybody, and if anything, it's breaking the hearts of millions, and it's making climate change worse, and it's doing things it's not supposed to do. We just should eliminate it immediately. Next, creating businesses with no inspiration behind it. All right, creating a business with no inspiration behind it. I have done this in the past. We all want to be entrepreneurs. I guess that's like the new wave of things. Entrepreneurship is really being pushed onto a lot of people nowadays. And a lot of people just kind of jump to whatever the next person is doing. I was one of those people at a certain point in time. I tried to do like a lash business that failed. Like I put in all this money and it failed. It didn't really get that far because I wasn't inspired by it. I didn't really care. I barely wear lashes. I never cared about lashes. I do like makeup and I do, you know, like some good lashes, and I do like how lashes look on people. But truly, honestly, I wasn't really into the lashes. It didn't connect with me as a person. And I just feel like that's for a lot of people. Like everyone wants to go out and be lash technicians, nail techs, sell lashes, do all this stuff is out there and it's really nice and it can make you a lot of cash, but does it align with who you are? Start there and then branch out to make your own business. Stop making a bunch of businesses that ain't gonna fucking go nowhere because literally it's nowhere in your realm of interest to begin with. You'll be wasting money like moi. Don't be a dummy. Don't be me. I used all those lashes too that I had. I used them all on myself. Next, jumping from relationship to relationship. Again, do as I say, not as I do. Now, don't fight me on this because I know how you codependent people like to tussle. Sometimes you just have to give yourself time to be alone and learn who you are on the inside. Like I said, do as I say, not as I do, because I just broke this curse a few years ago and now I love being single. It's the best thing ever. I love talking to myself at night. It's amazing. I feel like when you're single, I feel like you're a little more productive and just a little more like, I don't know, you just dive deeper into yourself, you know what I'm saying? And you just kind of, like I said, find who you are and just be like the baddest bitch ever. Name a couple. I'm not talking about Dara and Ken, whatever their, I think that's what their names are. I'm talking about them. Not everybody's a super big power couple, but not a lot of people get into relationships. Not a lot of people are like that kind of person to like get into relationships and just like go all out and work hard on themselves. A lot of people get really relaxed and just want to be with their person and just kind of get a little lazy. You know, sometimes we don't need that. And sometimes we get into these relationships, still not healed from the last relationship, wasting time in our new relationship. Like you still got trust issues from 4 relationships ago. Why are you messing with little Brandon and Nikki? Like, leave them alone. They didn't do nothing. Let these people free. Release them from your shackles, foul beast. Because at the end of the day, we want to give our partners the best of us. And you can't give them the best of you when you're shackled down to the past. Anyways, next, buying things you don't need. We all do this. We all do this. Like I said, we're in the middle of like an economic crisis and I don't think it's gonna get better anytime soon. And the last thing you need to do is buy a PlayStation 5 for each room in the house. Let's try our best to prepare for the worst now because the worst is coming. Eggs are already $300. I also feel like people who are actually well off financially don't have a closet full of Gucci shirts and like a bunch of freaking shoes that they don't need, like just a bunch of stuff. I mean, that's like your Kim and Kanye and like your fashion icons and fashion is your thing. But if like you're a regular schmegular person, why do you need 17 pairs of Jordans or like Gucci shoes or like Gucci slippers? It's beyond me. I would like a pair of Gucci slippers and a bunch of Jordans, but here I am. I'm broke. And when I get money, that's probably not the first thing I'm gonna buy. Like, get rid of things that no longer spark joy. And see how much monies you can make off of all the things that you don't want in your room or in your living room or kitchen. I'm pretty sure you'll make ducats of cash. Just try it. The next one is going out to eat every day. Again, maybe I'm jealous because fast food isn't in my financial or dietary interest. So right now is a very great time for me to buy fast food all the time. But I remember back in the day, I used to spend a lot of money. Hi, Nandi. I remember back in the day, I used to spend like a lot of money on fast food. And honestly, like a lot of times after I eat my fast food, I will still be hungry. Yeah, and even I noticed like even when I would buy fast food, I will always still be hungry right after. Like, dang, I know I just had a full meal, but I can really go for a pint of ice cream. It just like never satisfied me. So I feel like cooking at home and cooking things in your own home not only saves you money, it most of the time tastes better and it makes you really full. And for people who can't cook, I'm sorry, I don't really know what to say to that. And the last one is number 10 is toxic positivity. I had to kind of check myself on this as well, because sometimes things are bad for people. Not everybody can just get over things and just be resilient and just come back just like that. So people really need a shoulder to cry on. And a lot of times I feel like people nowadays, they push like positivity like way too much, like, oh, it's okay, it's gonna get better, oh, it's okay, it's gonna get better. And I know I said earlier, it's just like, you know, your problems are worse than everybody else's, but at the same time, sometimes things are hard for people. And if somebody's gonna do something really hard, it's not helpful to tell them, you know, it could be worse, just be happy. That does not help. I feel like the people who show a lot of toxic positivity kind of lack empathy in a way, because they're not really trying to understand and feel what the problem is. They're just trying to tell them to get over it and be happy. And when a friend confides in you, you just tell them to kind of get over it, you're overreacting, just be happy. It kind of invalidates their emotions and makes them feel bad. It makes them feel even worse than they did before they even confided in you. So the thing to do is, if somebody really needs a shoulder to cry on, just kind of hear them out sometimes, because not everything is just positive and okie dokie and rainbows and butterflies. Things are sad out here. But that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. I usually keep my videos pretty nice and short. If you like any of my content that I have on here, feel free to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna try to post videos every week, maybe more. We'll see. Me and Green Phillip are gonna be here, back in action. And yeah, hope to see you next time here. Okay, bye.